Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers, the madness in London has just gone to an all new level. The statistics of people getting stabbed and killed are reaching unprecedented heights. Last year, I looked at the statistics, 40,000 people were stabbed in the United Kingdom. That's one person being stabbed every 15 minutes. And over half of all the murders that took place in the whole country took place in London. And what's even mad is that when you look at the names of those who killed, their names are Abdul Qadir, Abdurrahman, Muhammad, Bilal, Shu'aib. Muslim names. When you hear the names of the ones who are being killed, Abdul Qadir, Abdurrahman, Abdullah, Ayub, Muhammad, Shu'aib, all Muslim brothers. Mustafa's killing, Mustafa's being killed. Being killed by who? By another Abdullah. Brothers, this is insanity. I got a message on my Instagram by an auntie a couple days ago. She told me, listen, I need you to help my son. He's doing some crazy stuff and I feel like he's going to end up dead or he's going to go jail. I said, no problem, auntie. I'm going to come speak to your son. I came to the house to visit him. He goes to me, basically he stabbed someone. He stabbed someone. He stabbed a Muslim brother. I asked him, I said, bro, why did you stab him for? What was the reason? What was the issue? Well, he looked at me. I said, I don't know. I said, bro, you can't not know why you stabbed the man. Like, why did you stab him for? He said, I don't know. I said, were you high? He just doesn't know. Then it reminded me of a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If I'm not mistaken, the hadith is narrated in the Sahih of Imam Muslim, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. He's taken an oath. He's taken a qasam. He does this, why? To drive the point home, because even if the Prophet, why does someone say wallahi? Why did they take an oath? So you don't think that they're lying, right? So you believe them, right? The Prophet never had to do this. We would have believed him anyway. But he wants you to really understand how serious this issue is. So he says, I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul, that the day of judgment, it will not come. It will not be established until a person kills and he doesn't know why he killed. And the one who got killed is confused. He doesn't understand, for what reason was I killed? And wallahi, brothers, we're seeing this. We're seeing what seems like what the Prophet ﷺ said in that hadith manifest in front of our very own eyes today. Senseless killing, where the blood has become cheap and the value of blood has become very low. So today, I have one primary objective. I want to talk to you about the seriousness of spilling blood. That doesn't just mean killing. Stabbing doesn't always have to necessitate in a person dying, right? I don't want to talk to you just about killing today. I want to talk to you about the spilling of blood. Because wallahi, we have not come to really understand how serious this is. It's become so normal for us. We grow up playing games where what? Killing is the norm. Call of Duty, GTA. You're listening to musicians and artists. You got a whole genre of music now. Before it used to be gangster rap. It was about a bunch of other things that gangsters do. But now you got drill music. It's just about killing. You got a whole genre of music just dedicated to murder. So it became normal now. It became normal for the people. So we actually have to take a step back and sit down in the masjid, and we have to actually speak about the importance of preserving the life and the evil and the seriousness of spilling the blood. It's not normal that we have to talk about this, because wallahi, it seems like we're coming close to the last hour, the day in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy this earth and take everyone who's on it away to establish the final day. Because it seems that we're coming close to that time. People are losing their minds. They're losing their minds, so we have to discuss this issue. I never, wallahi, imagined a day would come. We actually have to talk and tell you how serious murder is. And I promise you, after this day, those who are present listening, those who are going to watch this video when it goes online, inshallah, I promise you, you're going to be shocked. You never saw and you never thought that murder could be this bad and the spilling of innocent blood could be like this. So how serious is it? I'm going to mention to you a hadith that I've mentioned many times before. The hadith is narrated by Imam Ibn Majah, and it's in the Musannaf Ibn Abi Shayba as well, and it's authentic. But the Prophet ﷺ, one time he looked at the Kaaba, and he looked at the Kaaba and he said, what is more sacred than you? The house of Allah is sacred, right? The house of Allah is holy, right? You're not going to go and disrespect the house of Allah. You're not going to go to the Kaaba and punch it, spit on it, kick it, swear it. You're not going to do any of that, right? You'll never do that. So the Prophet looks at the Kaaba and he says, oh Kaaba, how sacred are you? How holy are you? But there's something that's holier than the Kaaba. The Prophet ﷺ said that the blood and the honor of a Muslim, the blood and the honor of a Muslim is holier, is more sacred to Allah than the Kaaba. Should I put that into context for you? What that means is that Allah, He would prefer to see the Kaaba destroyed brick by brick. Allah would prefer to see the Kaaba annihilated before He prefers to see the blood of a Muslim. And not just his blood, even his honor. We joke around with each other. Idiot, clown, stupid. And you're joking, you're insulting your Muslim brother or sister by extension. His honor and his blood is more sacred than the Kaaba, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to tell you a story of something that took place before the Prophet ﷺ was born. In fact, it happened on the year he was born. There was a man called Abraha, and this man called Abraha, he wanted to destroy the Kaaba. So he rounded up an army of elephants. Elephants were like beasts. The Arabs had never seen this before. So he rounded up this army of elephants and he brought them and he marched towards Mecca. And when he came to Mecca to destroy the Kaaba, how did Allah deal with them? أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ أَلَمْ يَجْعَلْ كَيْدَهُمْ فِي تَضْلِيلٍ وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, did you not see the way that we dealt with the people who came with the elephants? The people who came with the elephants, they tried to attack the house of Allah. Allah said, did you not see the way that we destroyed these people? The way that we annihilated these people? They came with a plan to destroy Allah's house. How we made that plan go astray? Allah said, we send down birds. We send down birds, and each one of the birds, it had little stones in its mouth and in its beak, and it was holding it with its feet. And it dropped them down like bombs, raining on the people. And each one of those stones, it would go and pierce through the body, straight away through the person's head, through his limbs. He would drop dead on the spot, couldn't move. Allah, He annihilated them. The guy Abraha who led the army, he became nothing but a bag of skin, burnt and finished and destroyed. By the time they took him back to Yemen, it was only a matter of time till he died. Dirty, filthy, disgusting death. Brothers, that is how Allah dealt with the people who tried to destroy the house of Allah. But I just now told you that the blood of a believer, it means more to Allah than the Kaaba. So then how will Allah destroy you if you try to spill the blood of a Muslim? If you try to spill the blood of a believer? We're not even talking about killing him, stabbing him, just poking him, punching him and making blood draw from his face. How will Allah deal with you? What will He do to you? If that's how He dealt with those who came to His house. But the believer is more sacred. The believer is more haram. If the Kaaba is haram, if attacking the Kaaba is haram, violating it is haram. Brothers, violating the believer is haram. That's one example of how serious it is to kill a believer. I mentioned to you another ayah to show you how serious it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض كأن قتل الناس جميعا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that anyone who kills a single person unjustly. Anyone who kills a soul, he kills a person, he takes the life of a person unjustly. It's like what? كَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. It's like he killed all of mankind. It's like literally every single human on the face of this earth, he killed them all. And whoever saves the life of one person, whoever saves one person, it's like he saved all of humanity. Brothers, when you kill that one person, understand that Allah made that one person. This is not just Muslims, this is even the non-Muslims. Even the non-Muslims come under this. Killing that person, whether he be a Muslim or a non-Muslim, killing him is so haram that the effect and the weight and the punishment that you will receive is as if you killed every human on the face of the planet. Is that serious? I want to tell you a story. Uthman radiallahu anhu was killed. Who knows Uthman? Put your hand up if you know Uthman. Who is Uthman? Who can tell me? Who is Uthman? He was one of the Khulafa. Not just that, he was the third best man from this entire ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the Prophet. After the Prophet, Abu Bakr, Umar, then Uthman radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. May Allah be pleased with them all. They tried to kill him. They surrounded his house. And they put him under siege, trying to find a way to get in. When they're about to kill him, a companion called Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he came into the house of Uthman. He said, Uthman, he said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, O leader of the believers. He said, I've come to defend you. I've come to fight you. Give me the call, I'm going to strike my sword once, I'm going to finish them. I came here to stand by your side. I'm going to kill them. They're trying to come close to you. I'm not going to let them touch you. This is the man, Uthman, who the Prophet ﷺ married his daughter to. When he married his daughter to her, that daughter, she died. Then he married another daughter. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, if I had 100 daughters, I would marry them all to Uthman. If each one came and died one by one, he said 100, I would marry them to Uthman. This man, Uthman, brothers, to show you how great he was. If there was a man that was worth defending, if there was a man that was worth fighting for, not your boys, not the man them on the block, not the man them on the block who are violating their mums, who are slapping their mums, spitting on their mums, talking back to their mums and their dads, sleeping with girls left, right, centre, sleeping with his brethren's sister, sleeping with his brethren's girl. Those are not the man to defend. Those are not the man to die for. The kind of guy to defend and to die for would have been this man, Uthman. The angels were shy of him. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting down one time and he had his leg stretched out and his leg was uncovered. So then Abu Bakr came in, Umar came in, and the Prophet didn't move. As soon as Uthman came in the room, the Prophet, he stretched out his stole. He stretched his garment out and he covered it. Later, Aisha radiallahu anha, she asked, she said, Ya Rasulullah, I saw when Abu Bakr came in and Umar came in, you didn't move. Uthman came in and you started to cover your leg. What happened? And the Prophet said, should I not be shy of the one that the angels are shy of? The angels are shy of Uthman. They're shy of him. He was a righteous man. He was a clean, pure man. He was so pure. You know, he never even looked at his private part when he was having a shower. When he was having a shower, this man, he never even looked at his own private parts. And then you got guys you're defending, guys you're fighting for, riding for. They're watching pornography every day. They're watching next man's private parts. They're watching women stripped naked. That's what they do. And you're defending. He never even looked at his own private part. He was that shy. He was that shy. He used to, when he would have a shower, he would have a shower crouched down, covered, his back bent like that. He didn't want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see him even naked. Obviously Allah, He sees all. Allah, He sees all. And he knew that Allah saw all. But it was just his way of just being humble and shy and just protecting himself and his modesty. So this is the man Uthman. Abu Hurairah came and he said, Ya Uthman, O leader of the believers, I'm here to fight by your side. Give me the word, but I'm going to pull out my sword. I'm going to kill him for you. Uthman, he looked at him. And he said, Abu Hurairah, he said, do you think it's easy? Do you think it's minor to kill every single person on the face of this planet? He said, no, of course not. He said, then know that if you take the life of one person, it's like you took the life of all of humanity. It's like you killed every single person on the face of this planet. You killed them all. So So he said to him, go, you're excused. And you'll be rewarded for this. You will not have no sin. Being an obedient follower of this Imam, this Khalifa, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he obeyed what he said and he turned away. And Uthman was killed. They killed him while he was reciting the Quran. His blood is actually still on the page of the Mus'haf, the Quran that he was reading from. It's still there today. That blood stain is still there till today. He saw it better for himself to be killed than for blood to be spilled on his behalf. He saw it better for himself to be killed than for blood to be spilled on his behalf. Call your brother. Call your brother. He's saying you're not picking up your phone. Call him. He saw it's better for himself to be killed than for someone else to spill blood on his behalf. Does that make sense? I want to tell you another example of this. Adam alayhi salam had two sons, Habil and Qabil. Habil and Qabil were two sons of of Adam alayhi salam. Who's Adam? Who can tell me who Adam is? Adam is the first man on this earth. The first prophet Allah sent down. He's our father. His two sons, Habil and Qabil. Habil was a righteous one. Qabil was jealous of him. Why was he jealous? Because of the woman that he married. I don't want to go into the story because it's going to be long, because that's not the point here. But why was he jealous of him? Because of a woman. Because he wanted to marry the woman that Habil was married to. This is your own brother. Forget your Muslim brother. This is your own blood brother. He said, I am more befitting to marry her. You married her? He became jealous, angry. And what did he say? He said, I'm going to kill you. See you? It's an on-site thing. When I see you, I'm going to dead you. What did his brother say in response to him? Look at this. He said, لَإِن بَسَطْتَ He said, لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ If you extend and open your hand, what? لِتَقْتُلَنِي To kill me? مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطِي يَدَيْ He said, I am not going to open my hand. What? I'm not going to open my hand to kill you. If you're trying to kill me, I'm not going to kill you. Take my life. Why? إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ He said, I fear Allah, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the Lord of everything that exists, the Lord of the Alameen, the one who created us. I fear Him. So if you want to stand before Him with my blood on your hands, then do that. But I don't want to stand before Him with your blood on my hands. So kill me. And he killed him because he understood that blood is not cheap. Wallahi, brothers, I have a good friend, many of you may know him, his name is Guled. Brother Guled. He said something so powerful to me one day, and it shocked my system inside. He said, if someone violates you, let it go. Because it's better for you to be oppressed than to be the one who oppresses. It's better for you to be violated than to be the one who violates. Shall I tell you why? Because if someone violates you, it's not going to be an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It escalates. You're going to do more to him than he done to you. And if you do that, you've oppressed him. And on the Day of Judgment, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us, beware of oppression. Why? He told us oppression is darkness. Brothers, on the Day of Judgment, oppression is darkness. Oppression is dark. You violated someone. Let's just say you swore at him. You know why? Because now it's not between you and Allah. Allah can forgive you, no problem. Brothers, Allah is merciful. Allah is forgiving. Allah will forgive you, no problem. But the human being isn't forgiven like Allah. On the Day of Judgment, that human being doesn't want to forgive you. He's thinking, listen, on this day, we don't operate in pennies or pounds. In this day, we operate on good deeds and bad deeds. So if you violate me, you better believe that I'm going to take my right back from you. I'm going to take your good deeds away. The good deeds, I'm going to take them away. Or I'm going to give you my sins. On that day, that person's not going to forgive you. He's going to bury all of his sins over your head. So what are you going to do on that day? Does it seem serious? Killing a person? It does. Another reason why killing someone and taking the life of someone is very serious. I want to mention 3 things to you. Number 1, it's serious because you took away the right of Allah. Allah told you to obey Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you that you're not allowed to kill. So the fact that you killed, you took one of Allah's rights away. You took away a right that Allah has. You took away a right that Allah Azza wa Jal has. You need to repay that right back. Number 1. Number 2, you took away the right of the family. You took away the right of the family. Do you know, in our Sharia, and obviously it doesn't happen here in this country because it's not a Muslim country. It's not a Muslim country. It's a Kafir country and they have their own rules and their own way of doing things. So you're not allowed to take the law into your hands. So I don't want anyone to take what I'm saying now and put it into their own hands. But what is the punishment of the person who kills someone unjustly? What's the punishment of that person? What's the punishment? It's the death penalty. But who is it up to? The family. The family can choose between 1 or 2, which is what? Death or blood money. You have to pay money. Why is it money that you have to pay? Because you took someone away. That could be a father. That could be a husband. That's a person that was bringing something to the house. You took away someone from them. So now you have to pay money. You have to compensate financially, right? So do you know that if the family want you to die or the family want you to pay money, does it take the sin away? It takes away the sin to the family. But it doesn't take away the sin from the guy who you killed. You can repent to Allah and say, Allah forgive me for the person that I stabbed and killed. Allah forgive me for the person that I shot. The person I gave drugs to, he overdosed and he died. Forgive me for that person. Allah is ready to forgive. The family say, okay, listen, give me the money. Oh, you have to die. That is you and the family's beef squashed. But the person that you killed, how is he going to forgive you? He's dead. You have to talk on the day of judgment. You have to talk on the day of judgment. On the day when Allah He comes down and the hellfire is brought and the angels surround and no one can move and no one can talk and do anything on that day when Allah is angry, angrier than He's ever been before. On that day, the dead person will come and they will say, listen brother, why did you kill me? Why did you take my soul? For a postcode? You killed me over a girl? Over drugs? Because I wouldn't give you my phone? I was walking down the streets because I went from your area, you stabbed me? That's why you took my life? See, today is my day for revenge. Today is my day for revenge. And on that day, brother, do you think He's going to let it go? He's not going to let it go. So the one who kills, the one who commits a murder, wallahi brothers, he's stuck. Even if eventually after killing the person, let's just say, because that person, what do you think he's going to take off you? What do you think he's going to take off you on the day of judgment? You killed him. You got to give him a lot of good deeds. Or you got to take a lot of bad deeds. Have you done enough good deeds? Have you done enough good deeds to give them away? More time, bro, you might still end up in hell. Brothers, this sin is unlike any other sin. It's unlike any other sin. Zina, it's bad. From the 7 deadly sins. Disobeying your parents, from the 7 deadly sins. From the 7 sins that will dip you into the fire. Insulting a woman who's righteous, pious, chaste, and calling her, slagging, insulting her, and talking things about her, and saying she's loose and this and that. Wallahi, from the 7 deadly sins. But killing is different. Killing is different. Everything can be forgiven in this life. You can squash it. Ask the person, brother, I'm sorry. You stole from him, give him back his money. No problem. Everything in this life can be squashed. Killing, bro, how can you squash it? He's dead. It has to be spoken about on the day of judgment. Is that something that you want Allah to bring up? Brothers, this is one of the reasons why the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لَنْ يَزَالَ الْمُؤْمِنُ فِي فُسْحَةٍ مِّن دِينِهِ مَا لَمْ يُصِبْ دَمًا حَرَامًا. The Prophet ﷺ said, a believer will remain with regards to what? A believer will remain with regards to safety in terms of his religion. He'll be safe in terms of his religion. He'll be safe in terms of his deen. He won't have no issues as long as he doesn't come with what? He doesn't get tested. He doesn't have the calamity of what? Taking away the blood of people that's haram. What does that mean he'll have safety in terms of his deen? What does it mean he'll be safe in terms of his deen? As long as he doesn't kill anyone. What does that mean? It means he'll have safety, as in he'll be safe in terms of his deen. He'll be able to practice his deen. He'll be able to practice his religion. One of the brothers I was with in the car earlier was just talking. We were saying, listen, bro, you know when someone kills someone, someone stabs, even let's just say he doesn't kill, he stabs someone. I want you to really pay attention to this because it's serious. Let's just say you stab someone. But that means your heart is dark. Your heart is destroyed, bro. You know why? Because every time you do a sin, what happens? Your heart gets affected and your iman goes down. The greater the sin, the more damage to your heart. And if your heart is becoming damaged, my brothers, it makes it harder for you to practice your deen. It makes it harder for you to worship Allah. It makes it harder for you to repent. Because the hearts are of three types. There's the heart that's healthy, there's the heart that's sick, and the heart that's dead. So when you kill someone, sometimes you don't realize you killed your own heart in the process. Because that sin was so big. That sin was so big that it literally, what did it do? It crushed your heart. What little iman you had, it might have even what? Taken that away. I'm not saying you become a kafir, no. Because you don't become kuffar because of major sins. But it destroys your heart. And it can maybe kill it or bring it to the verge of death. That's how, when you look at these people who they can stab, they can kill, there's a darkness about them. And ask yourself, do you carry a knife? Are you carrying a knife? Have you used it yet? Maybe you haven't used it. But you're carrying it with what? Do you carry it with anything except the intention to kill or to stab? You're carrying it with intent. Otherwise, why are you carrying it? Why are you carrying it? To show off? If that's the case, then really and truly, you're a waste man. I have nothing else to say to you. But if you're carrying it with the intention to do something, then look at the intention. The Prophet said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Actions are judged in accordance to their intention. Even if you never killed the guy, but you intended to kill. You had the intention to kill. You're going to be judged based on the intention, even if you didn't actually do the action. So Prophet, this is not a joke. Carrying the knife, true, it's not the same as stabbing someone. Stabbing someone is not the same as stabbing them and killing them. But these are, remember we said spilling the Muslim's blood is what? Is worse than destroying the Kaaba. Spilling, just to stab him in his leg, stab him in his arm for his blood to drop. Brothers, this is such a big sin. What does it do to your heart? So you stab him one time, second time, third time, killing him is easy because your heart is gone. Your heart is gone. And this is what it means, that a believer, he will remain with regards to safety in terms of his religion. He'll be safe. He'll be able to practice his deen. He'll be able to repent. He makes a mistake, he'll be able to say, Allah, I'm sorry. Allah, I'm sorry. Allah will forgive him. As long as he does not what? Spill blood. He doesn't spill blood, that's haram for him. So he's out there carrying a knife, stabbing people. Of course he's going to sleep with women. Of course he's going to smoke drugs. Of course he's going to listen to music. All that stuff is easy. Bro, he's out there spilling or intending to spill blood. Another ayah. I really want you to understand today this issue of taking a life is not light, brothers. This issue of taking a soul is big. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned the punishment for the one who kills, the one who kills a believer. And shall I tell you something? Allah, He never, ever, ever spoke about, Allah, He never, ever, ever spoke about the punishment of any sin the way He described the punishment of murdering a believer. I want you to pay attention and please don't be distracted. Allah said, وَمَنْ يَقْتُلْ مُؤْمِنًا متعمدا فجزاؤه جهنم. Count with me. How many punishments? Allah said that the one who kills a believer intentionally, then he will be given what? Number one, Jahannam. Count with me. How many punishments is that? فجزاؤه جهنم خالدا فيها. He's going to stay in there forever. Brothers, he's going to stay in hellfire forever. And what happens in hellfire? لا يزيدكم إلا عذابا. In hellfire, you don't get anything extra except extra punishment. Every day the punishment gets worse. Some of the scholars said that's the scariest verse in the Quran. That nothing happens in hellfire except that every day the punishment gets worse. The punishment gets worse. The punishment gets worse. And it multiplies for eternity. Forever and ever. Every day is getting worse than the day before it. Why? Because he murdered a believer intentionally. Hellfire for eternity. وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. Allah is angry with him. Allah's anger is upon him. وَلَعَنَهُ. Allah's curse is upon him. وَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا. And Allah said, we prepared for him a mighty punishment. Was all that not mighty? Hellfire, eternity, anger, curse. After that, Allah said, وَعَدَّ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَظِيمًا. This person, they got a unique punishment. These 5 things. Even for someone who done shirk, and shirk is worse. Shirk, to worship another God besides Allah, is worse. But even for that, Allah, He didn't talk about it the way He talked about murder. Murdering a believer. And we mentioned already, in case you think, oh, so I can murder a non-Muslim, we said even that is like you took the life of all of humanity as it is anyway. This now is murdering a believer, is a step higher now. It was already bad, this is worse. I'll tell you something shocking. There's another hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith is scary, man. A person who's carrying a knife, a person who stabbed someone before, with the intention, I want you to pay attention. If you intended to kill, wallahi, you're judged based on your intention. That means you had an intention for murder. Sometimes you might not even intend, and you might actually kill the guy. I was speaking to one brother one time. He told me I stabbed someone. So I was speaking to him. I said, where did you stab him? I stabbed him on his leg. I said, you idiot. You absolute stupid idiot. Why did you stab him in the leg? Because you thought he won't die, right? I said, there's an artery that runs through the man's thigh. You stabbed him in his thigh. There's a fat artery. If you stabbed him in the artery, he would have dropped dead on the spot. You idiot. What's wrong with you? You don't even understand. Wallahi, you might just be playing around, joking around, thinking, you know what? I'm just going to poke him and leave. Just dip him and leave. Bruv, how many times you dipped him out and he dropped dead on the spot? It could be intentional, it could be accidental. The point is, I want you to focus. Whether you actually done the act of murder, and you didn't even intend it, but you killed him. Or you actually what? Brothers, you intended and you didn't even actually do the act. The sin is on you. Look at what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, كُلُّ ذَنْبٍ. Every single sin, asallahu, that Allah is disobeyed with. Every single sin that Allah is disobeyed with, Allah will forgive it. Except for a man. يَقَتُلُ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا. He kills a believer, he kills him intentionally. أَوِ الرَّجُلُ يَمُوتُ كَافِرًا. Or a man, he dies a disbeliever. Did you understand that? The Prophet said, every sin that a person disobeys Allah with, Allah will forgive that sin. Allah will forgive it. Except 2 sins. Killing a believer intentionally, or dying as a disbeliever. The Prophet saying you're not going to be forgiven, period. There is no forgiveness for this, period. That's it. It's too late. But then some of you might say, listen, bro, okay, listen, if I killed someone or had the intention to kill someone, I know someone to kill someone, are you telling me that's it, there's no way out for them? I'm going to talk to you about that at the end. I'm going to talk to you about that at the end. But I want you to understand so far how serious this is. If he made tawbah before he died, he'll be forgiven. The same way to this believer, if he made tawbah before he died, he'll be forgiven. But if he doesn't die, then what? So if he dies and he never made tawbah, he never repented, never asked forgiveness, he's going to be treated as if he's going to be in the hellfire with the kuffar for eternity, no forgiveness. Hatta, I tell you something, this was the view of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, and other ulama had this view as well, that a person who kills he'll be in the hellfire for eternity, never coming out. Never, ever, ever coming out. Even though we believe that if he was a Muslim, eventually he will come out. And that's the strongest view, inshallah. But why would you want to risk it? This was a sin. Some of the scholars are debating, bringing evidence, bringing ayat, saying, Wallahi, we believe this person is never coming out of the hellfire. This is not something that's a joke. But now I want to talk to the brothers. They don't carry the knives. Huh? They don't carry the knives. They're not going to steal. They're not going to stab no one. No, he's not going to stab no one. This guy, he's a little neek. He's a little neek. Look, wallahi, wasteman, bima'nan kalima, in the true meaning of its word, he's an instigator. He's not going to carry no knife. He's not going to roll with a mandem. And if he's in a situation, he's not going to be about it. But what does he do? He instigates. He talks. Hey, bruv, you're going to let my man violate you like that? Bruv, serious? You're going to let him get away with that? Bruv, is that what you're on? Instigating. Bring news. Hey, fam, what my man said about you? You see what them men are saying out there? Them men are on you. Wallahi, the guy who instigates, what's his situation? The Prophet sallallahu, a hadith that's attributed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Imam Dhahabi said, في إسناده مقال. It's a discussion about the chain. But look at the meaning attributed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Imam Dhahabi brought it in his book of major sins, where it was said that what? That anyone who assists, who plays a part, who has a role in killing someone, even if it is just half of a word, even if all he said was half of a word, and that half of a word was aiding, assisting towards the death of a person, then this person will meet Allah on the Day of Judgment, and in between his eyes, on his forehead, it will be written, this person has got no hope from the mercy of Allah. This person is going to have no hope on that day. That's the instigator. That's the guy who what? He just forwarded the tweet, passed on a message, sent a little message. Hey, bruv, you're going to let me talk about you like that, bruv? And you hear what them guys are saying out there? That guy, even though he didn't do the murder, don't think he's walking away with it. All of them. Because that sin and that crime is so big, everyone and anyone attached to it, brothers, they're going down the same way. They're going down the same way. So brothers, this is big. And I can go on and mention to you more hadith and more ayat. I can mention more things to you, brothers. But wallahi, if this is not enough to wake up the heart, then there's no point me speaking anymore. Because the heart is already dead. The heart is already dead. I want to talk to you about what you guys need to do now. What is to come of you? If you realize spilling the blood of an innocent person is this big, then what is required of you? What is required of you in this situation, brothers? Very simply, brothers, stay in your houses. Stay in your houses. I'm not saying this. The Prophet ﷺ said it. I told you, this is we are already seeing the signs of the Day of Judgment play themselves out in front of our very own eyes. This killing, where a person kills and he doesn't know why he was killed, and the person being killed doesn't know why he was killed. This is from the signs of the Day of Judgment that the Prophet ﷺ talked about. So brothers, stay in your houses. Stay in your houses. Stay in your houses. Look what the Prophet ﷺ said. The Prophet ﷺ said that the one who's sitting down, he's better than the one who's standing. When the fitna comes and the bloodshed is taking place and you're hearing this guy's getting stabbed, that guy's getting stabbed, this guy's getting rushed, that guy's getting rushed, he's getting killed, he ran to hospital. Wallahi, bro, listen, where I live, down the road from me, literally down the road from me, I had a 17-year-old boy got stabbed. Couple days after, not far from where I live, there's a park, another kid got stabbed. 20 minutes later, another kid got stabbed on the same bloody day. I don't need to tell you this, you know how bodies are dropping like flies. So when this time comes, when the fitna is high and the blood is cheap and people are being killed, the Prophet ﷺ said that the one who's sitting down, he's better than the one who's standing. And the one who's standing, he's better than the one who's walking. And the one who's walking, he's better than the one who's running. So brothers, why are you still hanging around in the blocks outside? You need to be inside of your houses. Be inside of your houses. Because being outside is going to mean one or two things. It's going to mean either you're going to get hit, or you're going to hit someone, It's one of the other two. Another hadith, the Prophet was speaking to Abu Dharr al-Khifari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, another noble companion. And he asked him and he spoke to him about a situation in which people are killing and spilling each other's blood. What should you do? And the Prophet said, stay in your house. Stay inside of your house. Even if he comes to kill you, stay in your house. And what did the Prophet say? Lock your doors. Lock your doors. And if the person comes inside of your house, and he tries to kill you inside of your house, and the Prophet said, be.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على السلام حي على السلام حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
So the Prophet ﷺ said, if this person, he even comes inside of your house, and he comes inside of your house, and he tries to kill you inside of your house, what should you do? The Prophet ﷺ said, in that situation, be like the son of Adam. The one who said, if you stretch your hand out to kill me, I will not stretch my hand out in return to kill you. Why? Inni akhafu Allah Rabbal Alameen. Because he's remembering Allah, I'm going to stand before him. The blood of a person is not cheap. Even if he's trying to kill me, his blood is not cheap. The Prophet ﷺ said, the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. He said, إِذَا الْتَقَى الْمُسْلِمَانِ بِسَيْفَيْهِمَا. If two Muslims meet each other with their swords, or they meet each other with their knives, they meet each other with their shanks. If two Muslims, they meet each other. فَالْقَاتِلُ وَالْمَقْتُولُ فِي النَّارِ. The one who killed and the one who has been killed, they're both going to be in the fire. The Sahaba are confused. He said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, we understand the one who killed, he's going to be in the fire. But what about the one who was killed? What did he do? The Prophet ﷺ said, he was ready to kill his brother. He was ready to kill him. He was ready to kill him anyway. To show you what? He had the intention to kill. Even though he never killed him, because he had the intention to kill, even the one who got killed and killed, they're both in the hellfire. That's what I'm saying, brothers. Why are you carrying these knives? Just by you carrying them, you're intending to spill blood. Muslim or non-Muslim, the point is both of them, it takes you to the hellfire. Brothers, put your knives down, wallahi. Put it away. Just by you meeting them. You're saying you do it for protection. If you're doing it for protection, brothers, wallahi, take the hit. Because that blood is not cheap. Because you're going to die either way. Now you might sit here, and when you die, you're going to stand before Allah. The blood is going to have to be questioned for. But you might say to me, listen, bro, are you telling me, listen, out there, stand like a donut. If someone comes up to me, wouldn't I take it and get shanked, bro? Well, I'm not saying that, because I said something earlier too. I said, stay in your houses, bro. I said, stay in your houses. Don't leave. That's the solution. Because this is what you call fitna. Bloodshed, murder, spillage, killing. Because carrying a knife is not an option. Carrying a knife, brothers, is not an option. There is no option here. If he tries to stab you, and this is your Muslim brother, he tries to stab you, you want to kill him back. You're meeting him what? For war. Brothers, not an option. It's going to end bad for you either way. So if that's the case, stay in your house. Or if you come out and you don't want to be in your house, you want to walk around, stay on the blocks, look at the girls, do whatever the hell it is that you want. But if someone comes up to you, you have to take it. If someone comes up to you, take it. Or stand before Allah on the day of judgment with blood in your hands. If not, I repeat, brothers, for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, stay in your houses. Stay in your house. And lock your door, as the Prophet said. It's not because you're scared of people. I know you're a big man. I'm not even trying to put you down like that. I understand. But akhi, the price and the consequence is blood. Blood. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, when the people were out there, they were ready to spill blood, he would say, ad-dima, bloodshed. Stop it, put your swords down, go back inside. What are you people doing? Well, you know what it is? It's as Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he said, when he looked at the people, and remember those people were way better than us. But look what he said to them. He said, you people are doing sins. You people are doing sins, the likes of which, if we did them, we would feel that they are mountains. Sorry, no. He said, you people are doing sins. Sorry, let me repeat. He said, when we were with the Prophet ﷺ, if we did a minor sin, we would feel like that minor sin is like a mountain on top of us, crushing us. But he said, you people are doing major sins. You're doing major sins. 7 destructive sins dip you in the fire. And what is it? You're just swatting it away like it's a fly that came and landed on your nose, and it's a fly. Move out my way. Stab it, man. Move on. It's nothing. Brothers, please, those who are here, those who are going to watch this video online, understand bloodshed. Bloodshed. Wallah, it's not a joke. The Prophet said a person is going to be safe, in safety with regards to his deed. It's going to be safe as long as he doesn't have blood on his hands. With that blood, you could be as righteous as you want. You know, it's mad. I met a brother in Medina. A lot of the brothers who came Umrah with us on the last trip, met a brother in Medina. But then this brother, he murdered someone when he was 18, 19 years old. Am I wrong? The brothers who were here, did he not murder someone? He murdered someone from America. He murdered someone when he was 19, 18 years old. He went to jail. He done a life sentence. This brother now is a changed man, long bad. He's a changed man. He now is a student of knowledge, studying with the scholars. He studies, not even in Medina University, he studies in the masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. You can see this man, wallahi, he is not the same guy that he was 20 odd years ago. Humble, manners, knowledge, worshipping Allah, Salafi. But after all that, you know what the maddest thing is? On the day of judgment, he still has to worry about that man that he killed coming to him on the day of judgment. He still has to worry every day, every night. What's going to happen to me on that day? And that's why he's working so hard and he's working so hard, studying, gave everything away. He went to Medina. He went there to change his life. And he lives there now, and he gives da'wah, and he teaches people now. Why did he do all that? He understands what Adam was not a joke. I have to now do as much good as I possibly can. Because if that guy comes to him on the day of judgment and he asks him and he says, listen, bro, remember me? He's going to have to give him a law. He's going to have to give him a law. So he has to prepare from now. That's what I'm saying. Ibn Qayyim, as he said, prevention is better than cure. If you come to me and say, bro, I got blood on my hands, I killed someone, what can I do? We can talk to you, but bro, it's hard now. You need to pattern up. But wallahi, prevention is better. Prevention is better. Prevention is better. And I can't stress, brothers, stay in your house. Wallahi, I met a kid the other day who stabbed someone. I'm meeting a lot of people stabbing lately. It's become that often. Wallahi, right now, I could tell you 10 stories of stabbings that I've experienced and spoken about, and I've come into contact with people just over the last few months. This is not a joke. Another brother he stabbed, wallahi, when I went to see him in his house, this kid, he lived in a 7-bedroom house. Not only that, but he wears pajamas. Wallahi, the kind of pajamas I saw him wear was like, like something, like kids' pajamas. I'm chatting to him, like, bro, you stabbed someone? I said to him, bro, like, you look like a neek. I told him, my line. I said, bro, you look like a neek, what are you doing? I said, the music and the drugs and your friends got you gassed up, thinking you're a bad boy. Bro, you live in a 7-bedroom yard, bro. Bro, I said, you come home, you say, mommy, bro, give me the curry. And that's what you're on, bro. But I'm saying, bro, the music, the drugs, and your friends got you thinking you're a bad boy. That's what I'm saying. Now people are killing, people are stabbing, and he ain't even built for that life. He ain't even built for it. That's why I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, this guy, they all look miskeen. They would never stab someone. Wallahi, I'm seeing people murder and they look just like you. So how do you protect yourself and save yourself from this? Brothers, prevention is better than cure. Stay in your houses. Leave off these people. Wallahi, it's not worth it. And the last thing I'll say to you is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he mentioned that a man, he murdered 100 people. And you all know this story. I'm going to mention it one more time. I'm going to remind you of the benefits. A man, he murdered 100 people. And he murdered 100 people. He asked a scholar in his village. He said, will Allah forgive me? And the man said, yes, Allah, He will forgive you. But it's not as simple as just saying, Allah, I'm sorry, you need to do something. Because one of the conditions of tawbah is iqla' min al-dhanb, is to leave the sin behind. And sometimes you might leave the sin, but the environment that you're in brings you back to the sin. So you need to leave that environment as well. So we looked at the man and he said, listen, in this village, in this area, people are bad, they're evil. You need to leave. There's another village where the people are righteous. These are good people, they worship Allah. They're not going to be the kind of people that are going to encourage you and put you in situations where you're going to end up killing or murdering someone. Go there. Because the man was serious. He realized, listen, he's right, I'm going to go. So he left the village, and as he was walking on the journey, he dropped dead. On the journey, he died. He dropped dead on the spot. So then 2 angels, they came down, the angel of mercy and the angel of punishment. The angel of punishment said, listen, I'm going to take this man to the punishment and the anger of Allah. Why? Because he never made it to that city, that village where the people were good. He never made it. He died on the way. And the angel of mercy said, but he was on the way. He was making the move towards them. He had the intention to change. So I'm going to take him to Allah's mercy. So then when they start arguing, a 3rd angel comes down. And when the 3rd angel comes down, he says, listen, here's what we'll do. We'll measure the earth. If he's closer to the place that he left, then he's going to go to Allah's punishment. But if he's closer to the good place where he was going, we're going to take him to Allah's mercy. When they met, 30 seconds. When he went to the spot, when they measured it, they realized that he was closer to the area that he just came from. He was closer to the village that he left, closer to the village of evil people. And for his repentance to be accepted, the Shaykh said to him, go to the good people. So he hasn't made it, has he? So what did Allah do in return? Allah, He changed the dynamics and the dimension of the earth. Allah, He changed the earth for him, stretched it or shortened it. However, what Allah needed to do in order to make it, so he's closer he's closer to the village of good where he was going, so he could earn Allah's forgiveness. Allah forgave him. Allah forgave him. Allah will still be willing to forgive you as long as you don't die with this. That doesn't mean you won't still have the answer on the Day of Judgment when the guy comes out. That's an extra that murder has that no other sin has. But you need to now start repenting and preparing and give your life in obedience and submission to Allah. Stack up your deeds, because if that guy who you done something to ask for it on that day, you'll be able to give him and still save yourself. But if not, brothers, if not, like I said, this is a sin. This is a sin that really isn't a joke. We'll pray inshallah ta'ala, and after we do an interactive session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.